and Richmond, and this one is a fascinating matchup. You've got the Tigers, who beat Sydney when no one thought they could at the MCG, and then you've got St Kilda, who dropped one against the Bombers that they probably should have won. They're coming into it with completely different forms.
The highs and lows of football right there, you've explained, Sarah, because you've got the Saints, who were so good a couple of weeks ago, dropped the game that everyone probably expected them to win, and then the Tigers, their first win for their coach as well, but then the injuries that come with that. They get some stars back today, but they've also got some younger players that are certainly on the rise, so the challenges are there for the Tigers as well.
How big is the inclusion of Max King for the Saints after a one-week suspension? Obviously, structurally, he helps them immensely.
Oh, he does, and maybe that was part of the reason last week. I know it's only one player in the side, but you're right with the structure, what he can do on the scoreboard, and he can be the difference in the game. So they'll welcome him back with open arms. He's an important player for the way they try to deliver the ball forward of centre.
Marcus Winhager out suspended for the Saints, and then you've got Richmond, who have been decimated with injury this season. They do get Dusty Martin, the triple Norm Smith medalist, back, so that is an enormous bonus, but they lose Bolter, Lynch and Baker. They're big out.
They're massive outs. I suppose when you hear the word Dusty Martin, it's great, isn't it, to see him back. He's got the bright yellow boots on today. He looks fresh. He looks fit, and it really is up to the senior key leaders. Nankervis in the middle of the ground, of course. Dusty and Bolton around the ball at different stages as well, and forward of centre. Those guys need to hit the scoreboard. They have to kick 3 or 4 each this afternoon for the Tigers to be a realistic chance of winning this game.
You are so close to the action watching on here at Norwood. I think the fans, we've got St Kilda jumpers, we've got Richmond jumpers, we've got a lot of neutral supporters here as well, and when Dusty ran out, it was a wild cheer.
The roar was enormous. I even think some Saints fans went, yeah, it's not bad coming to the footy here in the atmosphere that we've got to watch one of the best players in the competition, and a fit, healthy Dusty Martin is so important to the Tigers and what they can achieve this afternoon.
So we prepare to head out into the middle here at Norwood Oval. St Kilda and Richmond ready to do battle. The weather is perfect. Conditions are magnificent for football. You're watching it all here on Fox Footy.
Winning it out of the centre, slapped towards the wing. Cooper Sharman picked it up beautifully, kicked it straight into the back of Seb Ross. And the long sleeve is an interesting choice for Jack Sinclair with a balmy afternoon here at Norwood Oval. Two-time All-Australian.
It's an interesting choice, isn't it? Because it's quite warm.
He's pretty comfortable out in an AFL field. Jack Sinclair, back-to-back best and fairest and All-Australian. Jack Steele had taken out of his hands. Thompson Dow, an improving player. Cal Wilkie, Riley Bonner, the former Port Adelaide player, couldn't keep it in.
The starting position around the edges with the boundary line is really important. You don't want to be running too close to the boundary line because you'll run out of room. So you just want to start, give yourself plenty of room to move into the ball.
And this ground almost all corridor. Wilkie got there first. Goes towards Ross, couldn't complete the grab. Nankervis put his body over the football. Ross took him down. Kick inside 50. Rioli gets on the end of it.
Quick reaction of the forward playing in front. Just a messy kick forward, out of congestion. And as good forwards always do, they just read it a little bit quicker. Well done by Rioli.
31st game this afternoon for this talented youngster. Starting to settle in to the speed and tempo at the top level. We know he's got exquisite skills and great vision. Can he finish here from right on 50? Makes okay contact and good enough to get it home. The Tigers are on the board. Morris Rioli didn't hit it perfectly. It was straight and it carried. Richmond have got the first.
Just the pressure there from Rioli to get the ball out and spilt mark, just bobbling around here, and that's the quick kick that Job talks about. And Rioli was the first to react. His opponent was only a metre behind him, but because he reacts so quickly, he puts on 2 or 3 metres and able to take a really good contested mark for a small player.
Just taking territory today will be really important.
Great start that is. Morris Rioli and the Tigers with the first here at Norwood Oval. And Curvis fought his way into that contest. Important ball to be won. Ross. Dusty's in the centre. Tunnel balled it out. It's going to come through the hands of Filippo. Attacking it was Miller and then flicked over by Max King. Mateus Filippo picks it back up again. The Tigers swarm and then dispossess Filippo. They've taken the quick advantage. Martin's going to get it out to the wing. Sonsi got Wanganeen-Milera underneath it, but you can see the numbers with 3-on-1. He did really well. Huge effort from Sonsi to get a little toe poke in. Now Marlon Pickett. It's the old school surge footy of the Tigers. They get it all the way to half forward. Sinclair and Wilkie, two of their best. Couple of All-Australians combined. And it ends up in the hands of Josh Battle.
He spreads it wide. Not a lot of space out there. Umpire says push.
It's an example of just not that depth in the pocket and the wing. The ball just was drifting out of bounds. Normally, you'd have a few extra metres to be able to find that target.
Steele goes towards King. Nicely done by Burns. Took the crumb. Was taken in the tackle. Got the hands free to Owens. And now Ross tumbles it inside 50. Bounce eluded Higgins. Tapped away by Nankervis. Brown goes off the ground. Out into some space. Cordy will get there first. Can look up, assess the options and go short to Max King. He's 75 from goal.
Play on.
Thought about Marshall in the pocket. Goes more direct. Caminiti off hands. Front and centre. Sharman snaps and hits the post.
Good kick by King. That's where you want the ball going. If you can't have a genuine shot on goal, get it into the corridor, make it at a dangerous spot, force the defence to have to defend dangerous space.
Quite often, Silk, that's where the wind flows to the end that the Tigers are kicking.
It's going to carry further that end.
You are a chance from well outside that arc, whether it's a 50-metre arc or not. I'm not sure over the head of Maurice Rioli, but in the earlier game, the Brisbane-North Melbourne game, we saw bombs kicked almost from the centre square to this left of screen side here at Norwood Oval. So look at the crowd in. Conditions perfect. Tigers have started pretty well. Jack Steele tried to just steamroll his way through. Seb Ross, they come crashing in. Hard work getting it out of there. It's going to be a lot of that sort of footy today, Joe. A lot of contested opportunities.
Yeah, a lot of congestion just with the dimensions. It's going to be a fierce footy, hot footy.
Dow. Toe pokes it forward. Bonner. Burns. And now Steele inside 50. Awkward one to mark. Taranto. Daniel Rioli down the line. Lafau's got a couple to beat. Over the top came Cordy. Lafau kept his feet. Takes on one tackler. Takes on a second. McIntosh. Dow. Rioli feeds a handball. Martin. Taranto back to Martin. And the Tigers work that beautifully through congestion. Now they've got some numbers forward of the football. Mansell goes inside 50 and finds Bolton. The power of McKelty Lafau.
Really smart play by Bolton there, because he was watching the ball bobble around and he just took the punt just to run back into space. And Wookie, he got caught up a bit high, so that created all the space behind for Bolton to run into.
Really clever kick from Dusty Martin. Just lowered the eyes there. Found the free, but you're right, it was Lafau's ability to win in congestion and then get it to the outside.
7 goals, 4 for the season. Shea Bolton. Just works across the face.
Speed forward of the ball is looking dangerous for Richmond already.
Get a look at the power of Kelty Lafau, Joe. It's shades of Jonah Lomu out there. How exciting to see that don't argue and talent. Had the Harker a couple of weeks back for debut, and
Rugby league background, was in the Melbourne Storm under 18 development squad. We saw it there.
yeah, keep your eye on him this afternoon. He's going to make a few nervous at times, I suspect. He's a very talented young player, Darcy Wilson, in his first season, who's really settled into AFL football. The Tigers started well. Not sure that he heard it coming.
On the ball.
Says Campbell just didn't hear the footsteps behind him. That is a great rundown tackle, Cooper Sharma. That will make Ross Lyon very happy.
Brad Hill has it on the wing. Chips inside. Cordy wasn't sure that it was for him. Out comes Zach Jones to try and make it good. He's got Taranto hanging off him. Not the required distance to Butler.
They're prepared to pull the trigger, aren't they? We saw Wanganeen-Milera before at halfback. It was a beautiful kick. There, Brad Hill, he wants to change, get the ball into the corridor.
Marshall and Nankervis. Bobbles to Jones, who's immediately taken down. Flipped out by Cordy. Hill receives from Wilson. Dangerous position. Well worked by Broad to get to the front. Good forward pressure from the Saints. Ball up.
Caminiti and Nankervis. The experience and strength of Toby Nankervis. Tigers' pressure early has been a feature. Ross, now linking handball to Campbell. He went the voice out wide, which was Taranto. Made Tim Taranto go back and work for it. Tom Brown from defence. Ambitious kick, not the time to fall over Mansell, but that was a clever handball, making it work to Bolton. Dusty's got it next, and here's the foul.
That surge mentality, wasn't it? Getting the ball just going forward, didn't have to be perfect, and not for the first time we've seen Dusty just pull the kick. He's the guy that you want the ball in his hands, especially forward of centre, and really clever just to get the ball going forward, which has been the Richmond hallmark for a long period of time. And then Dusty just pulls the kick, and Lafau running back to goal. Good transition play. 2 goals last week, Lafau, in their win over the Sydney Swans. Striking looking athlete, full of power. He kicked it pretty well last week. Good looking effort. Hammered it home by Kelty Lafau. And he loved it too. Put his hand up with a celebration. How exciting is that for the Tigers?
Richmond are just trying to get speed on the ball and surge it forward, and Bolton again reads that quickly and they get it going forward. Martin could have bombed that away and tried to dribble that through for a goal, but it does the team thing and lowers his eyes, and a good goal, team lifting goal.
Playing the corridor as well, aren't they? Bringing the ball through.
Tigers with the opening 2 goals. Steele to Jones. Coming off the back of the square, Sinclair got it moving to Ross. Now to Steele. 2 on 2, and Ben Miller led it best. Out to McIntosh. Really promising, positive start here from the Tigers. A massive win last week against Sydney, and then had a bit of air taken out of the balloon with the news of Lynch and Balter, and then the suspension of Baker. A crippling injury list at the moment. They've started superbly. Sonsi taken down by Stocker. Bonner. Jones, look out. Taranto runs him down.
Richmond, stand in. Play on.
Real aggressive intent from the Tigers.
Outside 5.
To move the ball quickly, realising that slow movement today is going to make life very difficult. Jaden Short goes direct inside 50 again. Battle presents to clear it for the Saints. Sinclair to Bonner. Slightly scrubby kick. It might be okay for Butler here. Gets onto the end of it, goes inside 50 to a one-on-one. It's Membry versus Miller. Miller does well, gets it to ground. Now gets some support from Brown. And they manage to get it to the line.
Already you can see the dimensions of the ground are forcing both teams to kick to contests more because there's less free players. And that Tigers pressure when they do get around a contest has been really good. Their tackles already in this first quarter. That pressure that Adamuse talked about, it's on again this week.
Kazitsky onto the field doing some ruck work. Tyler Sonsi's been busy early. Back to Miller. And now the run provided at half-back. Jaden Short had Bolton wanting it long. Decided to go for McIntosh. Can Morris keep it in? Just a centimetre out. They're almost away again, the Tigers. Ollie Bonner at half-back. Into this side, traded from Port Adelaide as Kazitsky to Dusty, who's immediately set upon by Sinclair. Right on this grandstand wing here at Norwood Oval, you are literally on top of the action. You can hear every word that is being spoken out there. Brilliant to see Dusty close up. Touch ball, might be okay. Stocker is going to have to contend with Morris Rioli. Did well, Stocker, to get the handball out, but now it opens the door for Shea Bolton. He's capable of anything, Shea Bolton. Look at that kick. Wonderful goal. He makes the impossible look easy at times, Shea Bolton. Fast start for the Tigers. They've kicked the first 3.
Jones on Martin there. If you're going to be on one of the best players the game's seen, you've got to put more body contact on him than that. So Dusty's going to have a field day if you let him have that type of freedom at a stoppage. And then they get the ball going forward. And Bolton pulls out a real special kick from the pocket.
Yeah, their leg speed forward of the ball is looking really dangerous against this St Kilda defence.
Right in front of the grandstand, which is heavily populated with Richmond fans this afternoon. And they went up as one as Sharman goes inside 50. Saints need a response here to get into this game. Pickett has support on the outside. It's short. Back to Flostone. Towards the wing. Marshall goes back with courage. The foul coming the other way. Campbell tried to create. Smothered off the boot of Burns. Dow goes inside. Martin works with Short. Doesn't quite hit the kick on the left, and it's picked off by Marshall.
Quick handball out to Ryan Burns. Back to Josh Battle. He's going to send it long and high. One-on-one. Jack Higgins dispense with his defender, Nick Flostone, and the free kick going the way of a triple premiership defender.
Flostone knew he had him beaten for size, took front position, and Jack tried to throw him.
Jaden Short eyeing the long one down the line. They're happy to just work their way through it here. Tyler Young has got a transfer of direction kick on if he's tempted to do it, but goes the conservative one down the line. They got a big pack down there. Lafau involved. Comes out to Campbell. Now Thompson Dow. Dusty set a pretty difficult task, and Philippo did well out into the path now with Membry. Came from Seb Ross, and he just left it behind Tim Membry. Can't get their game going at the moment, the Saints. Membry twisting and turning. They got the 2-on-1 Butler against his old team. Put the hands in the back. Higgins a chance. He's a miracle goal kicker, but even he couldn't get that one through.
Kicking's here interesting. You don't get that easy, uncontested kick from the back pocket and then the half back. So the Tigers go quickly here. They spotted one and they're out on the wing. If Floston can get it and go, they've caught St Kilda napping here. They've managed to get out the back of their zone, and away comes Campbell with speed. Has a bounce. Transitions from one end to the other in an instant. Bolton, open goal, Tigers. Kick-ins a really tricky part in Norwood. It's one of the aspects of the game that is impacted by the shape. And that time the Saints just weren't quite set up. And that was brilliantly worked from Richmond. That's as good as a kick-in can get in modern football.
It's a great shot of behind the goals of just transition football, and if you're not on defensively as the ball is entering into the play, then you can get caught out, and it's fantastic from Richmond here. We just see these smalls for Richmond are causing all sorts of problems for St Kilda defensively. Bolton with his second. And they're looking dangerous, Richmond.
4 goals already in this game. That's equal to the number that St Kilda have conceded in any quarter this year. So really fast start for the Tigers. Jaden Short patrolling the wing. Getting the long ball inside 50. Kaczynski, Cordy under pressure. Josh Battle. Everything's just got some heat attached to it for the Saints at the moment. Bonner, Wanganeen-Milera, and Seb Ross. They get some classy ball users involved. Give it back to Wanganeen-Milera. They try and do that every time they can. And have a look at that kick. That's why Mitch Owen didn't break stride. Can he get the first goal for the Saints? He's missed.
That's why they won the ball in Wanganeen-Milera's hands, because he'd already read the play and then read that Owens had got out the back. He knows what he's going to do with the ball before he gets it.
Thompson Dow stepping on the footy there and really tweaking that ankle. Keep an eye on that. So this is a more traditional kick in at Norwood. You get the first kick away and the space just isn't there, Job, that you get at other grounds, the width.
No, and you've got to just either be patient or your ruckman, your key forwards have got to set up long down the line. 5 to 10 metres inside from the boundary line.
A lot easier to corral teams in a one corner of the ground. Tigers get it to the wing. McIntosh. This is where they're winning the game at the moment. They're getting it from inside to outside so effectively. This is Bolton.
Bolton's been the one, hasn't he? He lets his play go into the contest and sneaks out the back and finds space.
Takes battle on. High on confidence, Shea Bolton. Penetrating kick inside 50. off the hands of Taranto. High shot on Burns.
High
And the
tackle.
St Kilda defence under
Burns.
enormous pressure.
Stand.
Seen some nearly marks this gather round, haven't we?
Yeah.
Some high flyers last night. Aaron Norton, Marcus Bontempelli, and that was nearly a classic mark from Taranto.
Ollie Dempsey as well, a massive fly, couldn't bring it down.
He will take mark of the year at some stage, Ollie Dempsey.
High on.
So the Saints really trying to find their rhythm in this game. Wanganeen-Milera, and he's misfired with that kick, so just a little off at the moment, Saints.
And we talked about going north-south rather than east-west because it's just hard to find the free on this ground when you're going from side to side. You're better off just taking territory and having it more of a territory game than trying to find the free that way.
Noel Marshall, Toby Nankervis, a couple of enormous, powerful frames. Nankervis goes down and was immediately tackled by his direct opponent.
Richmond with the opening 4 goals of the game, inside 7 minutes to play in the opening term at the Parade. Ball bobbles around. Campbell slapped forward by Taranto. Filippo rather, kick smothered. Membry up in front, good strong hands in front of Miller. Membry goes quickly. King's got the sit. 65 from goal, Max King. Wilson offers a lead in the corridor. King winds up, thumps it long, all the way to the square. Broad takes it under pressure.
Tigers again can reload from half back, and at times just slides through the St Kilda zone. And here's Jack Ross, got the foul out the back, and he's prepared to go long. That was pretty well thought out.
Yeah, they've been good all day at lowering their eyes.
Jack Graham back into the side, and Dusty's just come straight off the interchange bench. Shea Bolton eyeing off another one in the pocket. He's going to head towards Kaczynski. Had to go the defensive spoil. Bolton's been brilliant. He just stepped out the line, and they'll reset with the boundary throwing.
Wanting to get an arm across Dusty here at this stoppage. He and Bolton have looked dynamic in this first quarter.
So the former Hawk, Kaczynski, playing the ruck forward role early in this game. Brad Hill was flying past. It ends up in his hands. Had to kick under a lot of pressure. Well set up back here are the Tigers. Young's going to drive them back inside forward 50. And the sun in the eyes was looking like an issue, but Battle was able to take the mark.
To Bonner.
Play on.
Wanganeen-Milera.
Play on.
Wilson. Sinclair under some pressure, but he's down the line. Knocked away by Broad. Kept it alive. Won the contest. Out to Wanganeen-Milera. Saints on the back foot here. 5 to play in the opening term. He turns it over to Taranto. Bolton's been everywhere, wreaking havoc in the opening term, and now he creates for Campbell. Mansell, in fact, 50 out. Campbell circles back towards the square. He's got Kaczynski in the pocket. That's where he heads. Jacob sets his feet and juggles the mark.
Just been able to create a forward half turnover. We saw the Wanganeen-Milera went to change the angle in the middle of the ground. It wasn't there. Bolton has been so accurate with his field kicking, as the rest of the Richmond side haven't, just creating multiple opportunities.
So he's up against the fence, but as you can see here, because the pockets are so narrow, you actually get a decent amount of goal face to work with. He's pushed that one right across the face. And what must be considered the Richmond end at the moment, it is full of yellow and black at that end. It's like an old Norwood Glenelg game.
Jack Sinclair, one of their best and most experienced.
Play on.
Just looking to try and maintain some possession now, St Kilda.
Stand.
To Cordy.
Play on.
Certainly not part of their plan to have the first 4 goals kicked, and they're just trying to be a little more cautious. But again, the Tigers' pressure is just unbelievable. Dusty's going to get an opportunity to pick it up. He steps back into traffic, goes to Ryan Mansell. Kaczynski wanted to find Sonsi. The kick was too tall, and Sinclair in the right spot again.
Goes up the middle of the ground with a really good kick to Steele. Now a chance for St Kilda to go straight up the corridor. Burns Pushes it out to the right for Owens. And now Caminiti. Good ball movement from St Kilda.
We're still saying Kilda, they've already made a structural change. They've put Sinclair to the half-back line to have a bit more control and better build-up with the ball, Joe. They've been turning it over.
Yeah, and they're turning it over because they're trying to go fast off a slow turnover, but there it was a fast turnover. They got the ball back really quickly, so players weren't able to transition and find their direct opponent, which means the St Kilda mids were free in the corridor, and that's the time to pull the trigger.
One of the great stories of 2023, Anthony Caminiti started as a Carlton VFL player, picked up by the Saints, showed himself more than capable at this level. King off hands. Owens throws a boot at it that's touched.
Kilda still looking for their first goal of the afternoon.
Stand.
Fullback kick in finds Daniel Rioli.
Play on the 15. Play on.
Quick call from the umpire, and Jaden Short, plenty of composure, was able to go back to Nick Flostone, who's equally happy to take some time. There's not a lot of space or movement. He's jumping out at him, so kicking it anywhere near Shea Bolton seems like a good plan. Even he couldn't keep that one in.
Right, let's get one back. Just hold on 1 second. Toby, yep.
Just over 2 minutes to play in the opening term. And Curvis and Marshall. Taranto gains some territory. But it'll come back the other way.
Thank you.
Plenty of Saints fans on the outer wing.
Outside 5.
Seems to be more St Kilda at left of screen and Richmond at the right. Cordy. Caminiti doesn't fly. Then turns tackler on Ross. Brown releases a handball back to Short. Tumbles it to the wing. Past Lafau and Cordy. Clean from Martin. Lafau paddles to advantage. Comes off his boot. It'll be a St Kilda ball.
Dusty's looked explosive and fresh, hasn't he? He just looks like he's running over the ground and clean.
On the line, McKelvey.
They wanted to have that circuit breaker, didn't they, to freshen up his calves.
Yep.
And you can see that it's actually worked wonders for him so far this quarter.
10 touches already.
Oh, good hands, Max King. Brilliant mark. 1 week suspension. Kept him out last week. Short one, though. He just maybe telegraphed that a little bit to Burns, and the Tigers have been really sharp in their defensive pressure. Campbell's kick smothered. Hands it back. Sold his teammate into real trouble there, Jaden Short.
Thanks. Stay in zone.
Minute and 16 seconds until the quarter-time siren. Still a chance for a late goal here to St Kilda.
And Curvis the tap. Burns the crumb, but kick smothered. Bolton. A scintillating opening term.
Great switch.
Look at the vision. Finds Pickett in some space at defensive 50. He wants to step inside. Now gives it to Rioli. Martin again, Richmond. Offensive transition in the opening term's been outstanding. Pickett keeps running. And then puts it into the crowd.
That transition running there from Pickett, Rioli, Martin, they all started, apart from Pickett, who found space where there shouldn't be,
Yep.
they all start on that side of the oval, and then transition running. Dusty's looking very powerful.
Only gets used because of Bolton's vision, though, doesn't it? It only happens because he's able to just take the ball from one pocket to the other.
Completely changed the whole passage of play, didn't it, Joe? The vision and the skill as Higgins goes back to Seb Ross. Has to be creative here, and the kick was easily taken care of by Jaden Short. So Marshall, Riley Bonner hammers that one away. Tom Brown back to Seb Ross. Tumbled along the ground by Mansell. It was a good kick, really clever in the path of Marlon Pickett, and he decided that he was just going to hammer over the top of Cal Wilkie. And Wilkie was up to the challenge.
He was, wasn't he? He pressed perfectly off his player and closed the space out on Pickett. Perfect tackle.
Magnificent tackle from Cal Wilkie, the last action of the opening term. But it's been all Richmond. They've got a flyer at the parade. Sunday afternoon gather-round action. It's Richmond 4-1-25. The Saints 4 behinds. The Tigers by 21 points at the opening change.
Here at Norwood Oval, it is all Richmond. They absolutely jumped the Saints, who look a little flat, Jono. They don't quite back to have their usual spark.
They were flat. They got no transition whatsoever, and Richmond are all over them with their speed of ball movement. It's been super to watch and surprising in some ways. I thought St Kilda would come out of the blocks here at Norwood Oval, but it's been the complete opposite, and it's all the stars for the Tigers that have really played well.
So it's the opening 4 goals to the Tigers, and Shea Bolton's kicked a couple of those. He's been on the end of some wonderful coast-to-coast movement.
He has, and Dusty Martin's been involved as well. He's had the 10 disposals, and part of that transition started in the back half of the ground where St Kilda's getting enough inside 50s, but you're talking about that spark, it's not there, and Tigers are getting that first kick out of D50, and you can see how competitive they are around the contest, how they're breaking through the defensive structures of St Kilda. They're clean below their knees, they're clean with their hands in tight, and then they're getting the ball on the outside, and you can see the type of transition that they're able to produce, but most importantly, Sarah, score off the back of it, and that's why they'll be able to create this gap in the game at the moment, sitting at 4-1-25 to St Kilda's 4 points, and 3 of those have been rushed, so they've had an awesome start to this game, the Tigers.
So what's Ross Lyon saying to his troops at quarter time?
I think it's all an effort-based conversation, because they've been, although their stats might look good, their effort is not there at all, and they're getting completely beaten on the outside.
All right, we prepare to head back out into the middle at Norwood Oval. It is the Tigers by 21 points over the Saints on Fox Footy.
Curvis and Marshall. It's favoured Marshall slightly, but crashed some bodies in centre bounce.
Thanks, Jack.
Martin, Bolton starting in that forward 50. They've been the dangerous players for Richmond.
Trying to crash through. Thompson Dow, as Soda just said, rolled his ankle pretty badly, but re-strapped it out there and put his body straight on the line immediately. Marshall got it down. Jack Steele, then Curvis dumped in the tackle. Thompson Dow, and they're going to throw it up again, still virtually in the centre of Norwood Oval.
And Curvis swooping in is Mansell, and this is where Richmond have just been exceptional. Job and Sean, I mentioned only +3 inside 50s in the first term, but they were just so much more potent going forward. Why?
Well, an example is here. Shai Bolton's as the half forward. He's now coming up into the stoppage. It creates confusion, creates an extra number. St Kilda get confused, and then they're getting on their bikes. Richmond out of the stoppage.
Taranto tried to keep it moving. He was taken down by Ross. Campbell puts the body in. It's fed out by Steele. We got one. In fact, umpire said it was a throw.
Throw. Richmond. Tim Taranto.
He's having a major influence, Tim Taranto.
Push out. Jaden.
Only his 7th touch coming up, but his ability to win that hard ball and get it moving for Richmond's been really important. Short to the pocket, punched away by Cordy. Look out, Campbell. Sinclair just lined him up. A rib rattler. Nankervis. Another heavy tackle there from
Richmond.
Owens, but that one slipped high. Taranto again. Gives it off to Martin from 51 metres. Doesn't hit the kick sweetly. Doesn't matter. The kick floats wide.
And as Bolton and Martin are pushing up the ground, they get lost in transition, and then no one's responsible for them. And the St Kilda defenders are pointing and looking at each other, and it's just that starting position. They're not going up. They're wanting to stay anchored in their defence. And so Richmond have had 3 players up around the ball, but those 3 players are Bolton and Martin, their 2 best players.
Well, Bolton got a handball received then because no one knew who was on him. He only just shanked the kick. Jack Higgins was the opposition forward. Down there was the closest player to him.
Just got off to a shaky start here, the Saints. Be interested to see how they get their game going. Bradley Hill, well tackled. Owens over the top. They're not going to find a way through that contest. Marshall, really well done. The handball from Steele. Phillippo was good. King tried to get front and centre. Jaden Short got a tough bounce. Taranto just happy to get some metres gained, but picked up by Steele. Looking for King, but it fell short and Broad. was really well placed, and the Richmond defence that's inexperienced just seemed to be so well organised at the moment.
Well, they are. Well, Jack Steele picks up that ball under pressure and bombs it forward. He's got Riley Bonner running uncontested to the left of him. Give him the ball. He's able to run and bounce the ball, break the lines, and pick a better option.
Young's kick floats out on the full.
Players don't make those options, though, when they're feeling pressure early, don't they? You set the tone. If the pressure is there, then even if you're not having someone right behind you, that perceived pressure is still in the back of your mind.
Hill high to 50, almost brought it down.
Contact. Stand.
Cooper Sharman will have it 60 from goal. Richmond have got numbers back. Membry, the deepest forward, and Filippo.
Good lead by Filippo. He just wandered down into some mess. Richmond defender didn't have body contact on him. We just have a look here, just moving. That's what you need to be doing as a forward, and then the pockets of space come up to you, and any smart forward recognises if I don't have someone directly on me, then I need to go and present to the kicker. Really well done by the youngster.
South Australian product, home to play in front of family and friends this weekend. That one starts way right. King almost made it good. Ball up adjacent to the behind post.
Filippo would have loved that goal. His family's here. Just saw his dad walk past before, Sam.
He's a youngster as well. Sean not far away, young Filippo.
He's got a younger brother in the SNFL as well. He's a good player, Woodville Eagles.
Very proud family and footballing family, the Filippos here in South Australia. Desperate to get Mateus ball in hand. Can they get their first goal? Zach Jones trying to fight half. There is Filippo again. Higgins was taken off it and was dispossessed without correct disposal. So the Tigers coming up with all the big plays at the right moment. Here's Camden McIntosh brought out there. The sun was in his eyes. He comes back into Graham.
And that's the time to go quick and to switch off a fast turnover, because players haven't been able to locate their direct opponent.
Move it on, play on.
Jack Graham now decides long down the line. Looks well set for battle, but Shea Bolton got involved. It looks like Thompson Dow
That ankle
is just not going to get through. Oh, Gloucester with a big hanger attempt. Just another nearly mark of the round contender as Graham goes short to Daniel Rioli on the outer wing.
What if they had hung on to some of these, we'd be calling it hang around. There has been some massive flies this weekend, but no one yet has been able to stick one.
Dow coming to the bench. He looks proppy on that ankle.
First game of Kane McAuliffe's heart rate will have just spiked.
Yep.
Camden McIntosh thumps it long. And Curvis tries to get across. That's good strong hands from Battle.
Stand, Kobe. Stand.
Sodas looks like Dow is down with the physio and the trainers getting some attention.
Look, he is. Obviously, they restrapped that ankle at quarter time, but he's in a fair bit of trouble at the moment. Kane McAuliffe is up and ready to have a crack, and I think you're right, Sean Burgon, you talked about the size of Kane McAuliffe as a teenager. He's running past now. He is a massive unit with some very powerful legs, so I reckon there's a very good chance we could see him in the action very soon.
Ball came to him as opposed to him pulling it in. There is Kane warming up. Port Augusta product, 310k northwest of here. And Curtis couldn't quite control it out of the contest. Ross came on for Dow.
Holding. Richmond. Jack Ross.
It's the shortest run on from the interchange bench just about anywhere in the game, particularly when the ball's over this side of the ground.
Might be able to hear mum and dad cheering when you go on.
Taranto, been influential as we've mentioned. Snaps onto his right boot. Bolton at the front.
Again, no body contact, was it? It just
moves it on. Puts McIntosh under pressure. He misses everything. Opportunity lost there for the Tigers, Joe.
It was, and it's just Bolton is causing all sorts of trouble. And if you don't have body contact on him, he gets a free run and jump. He's going to beat you with his athleticism. As a defender, you've got to know where he is at all time, and the easiest way to do so is to have an arm across.
Keep looking for Jack Steele. Got confronted heavily by Nankervis. Marshall's toe poker puts it in the path of Max King. Seen the insufficient attempt paid pretty consistently across this round, but nothing doing there. Just brilliant to see Dustin Martin healthy and fit and out on an AFL field. One of the great players in the modern era, and he started really well. Free kick
St.Kilda.
going the way of the Saints.
Stand.
What can Marshall deliver here? Long looking for Max King. He's got a good one-on-one set here, Max King, and he's been marked. Free kick. That's what you get excited about. The power and size and strength of Max King, and they were really strong hands.
Yeah, they were, and he just initiated that contact there. He used the arm, and he's got that strength after a few pre-seasons. Just look at him protecting the space. He knows he's got the elevation and the height to get up there if he just creates that vacuum of space for himself. Good craft.
Injured his shoulder in the pre-season of last year and missed the first 10 games. He's bounced back with the last 4 games, kicking 14 goals of the season. That one started left and in the end just snuck in for a minor score.
Mark Soderstrom, Thompson Dow, done or having another crack?
No, he's back out there, Jace. He's going all right. He's just ran back out, and he seems to be moving okay for the moment, but watch him closely, of course. Certainly giving him some grief.
Through the hands of Battle, past Sonsi and out of bounds. There's Thompson.
Thanks, Rowan. Toby, keep that distance. That's great. Thanks.
Looks a little proppy on it.
Marshall gets to the front. There is Dow. McIntosh had to hoist it high. He's being confronted. Arriving was Kosicki. Steele grits his teeth and wins the hard ball. Battle to Hill. Tigers set up well behind the football. It's Nankervis. Bolton's got some space out at half forward again if he goes quickly. Heads in that direction now. He'll fly in the middle of that pack. Rioli front and centre. Brilliant handball over the top. Pickett can run to 55. He'll attack the goal square. Off hands. Dangerous position. Saints need to be tidy here. And they are. Hill, Sinclair. And they can get out of trouble through Jack Steele.
St Kilda now can reload back to Sinclair. A good decision maker as a rule. Through the hands of Wilson. Now Zach Jones. So good build up here. Once again, Max King in perfect position. Forward. In fact, it was a great effort from Tyler Young not to give away a free kick. Heard the explanation from the umpire. Cleanly got the Sharon. What do you make of that one?
No, I don't. I think that's a free kick. The defender's eyes are off the ball. He's making body contact. He affects King's ability to go up. I think that's the incorrect decision.
Caminiti will do the ruck work. Nankervis, well done by Caminiti. McIntosh and Jones scrap on the deck.
Thanks, Zach. Anthony, Toby, come out the back.
McIntosh to the boot quickly. Bolton up in front. Sinclair to Bonner. He'll kick towards Hill. He's 55 out. King comes out on the lead and takes it. Tyler Young was right there, but the strong hands of Max King, and go back and have another shot at St Kilda's first of the afternoon.
Really smart lead here because they had Boston as a spare, so they couldn't go down the line, and they changed the angle, and that's where all the space was. Strong contested mark.
So they've at least stabilised the situation. Richmond haven't scored, approaching the midway point of this second term after they conceded an early lead. Now they need to start impacting the scoreboard and reducing the margin, which sits at 20. King trots to 48.
It's almost identical to his last set shot. He should have learned from the last kick he had about 2 minutes ago where the ball's fading that way. He's got to aim for the right goalpost.
Outside 5. Outside 5.
St Kilda will wrestle the momentum back in this game, but just can't convert. Still looking for their first goal of the afternoon. Jaden Short, we know powerful kick is off his boot, but marked by Battle. So they'll apply some more pressure here, St Kilda. Up and under kick from Josh Battle. Max King again from the side. The Tiger defence. We're all over it. Jack Ross squeezes the handball back. Tom Brown's kick has been marked, and
clear out.
This is Thompson Dow, who appears to be moving a little bit better with that rolled ankle issue. Young down the line. Lafau with a good pack-splitting contested attempt. And now Dusty Martin. Underground handball was okay to McIntosh. Back to Jaden Short. They're having to work hard here, the Tigers, to get through. And Tyler Sonsi has it on the outer wing.
Yeah, St Kilda's pressure's been better. They've slowed down the Tigers' ball movement. Just not able to capitalise on their dominance.
Bolton will set himself again, was worked under it. Umpire spotted it. Stocker worked him out just as he was about to launch.
He's still causing all sorts of headaches forward of the ball, Bolton. Every time he's around it, something is happening, and he's just worrying the St Kilda defenders.
Difficult matchup, isn't he? So agile on the ground, but so adept in the air as well.
Stand.
Back to Young. He's got a thumping boot, could launch us almost towards the square. Hits that one poorly. Through the hands of Stocker. Ross, Taranto. Sells the dummy to Cordy. Goes towards the square. Lafau creates a contest at the back. Butler needs some support down the ground. We'll kick it towards a one-on-one. It's Membry versus Brown. Well done, Brown. Beats him cold. Saints have got plenty of numbers inside 50, as you can see.
If you don't have the confidence here to make the distance, this is the hotspot kick. You've got to be 10 to 15 metres out, give your forwards a chance.
Well, he is a sublime kick. If he launches this, he could get it home. From 52. Launches into it, doesn't hit it sweetly, and look at the distance, it still flew.
For his first goal in the big time, Tom Brown, son of former Geelong player Paul Brown. To be really settling in at the highest level. Cordy, Riley Bonner now. Good running overlap from the Saints to Hill. This is a promising build-up. This is Ross Lyon's 333rd game as coach and has never been goalless at half-time. Long way to go yet, but they still searching for their first. Just no one heard the call. Tigers going to go through the corridor on the back of it, and Liam Stocker accepts the mark.
Max King's free.
Got a lead from Caminiti, ignores that. Holds up a little bit to that end from the side. Kazitsky gave a contest. Rioli, handball out to Camden McIntosh, who stepped back through traffic and puts it out into the wing. Cal Wilkie comes charging out at it. Ryan Mansell, and out of bounds.
Feels like the delivery inside 50 is quite contrasted. There's a lot of bombs going into big packs at one end, but Richmond are trying to pick their way through at the other.
Well, they're just taking too long, and when they do kick it, it's allowing the opposition ruckman to get back, and it's just massive packs. So they need to move the ball quicker.
Easiest way to do that is create good turnovers. If you can create good turnovers, then you'll be able to go forward with space.
Falcon off Steele, who turns tackler on Martin. Keeps the ball moving forward. Coming out full-chested was Bonner. Ricochets to Jones, who bounces it back to the wing. Butler in a contest with McIntosh. Across comes Miller and takes it out. So his first step has been completed for St Kilda, which is to slow Richmond down, stop the damage on the scoreboard, but now they need to start doing some damage themselves. The last time the Saints were scoreless against the Tigers at quarter time, round 13, 2009, Richmond didn't score for the next two quarters as Ross Lyon lost his mind at quarter time.
Holding.
Well, the Tigers have added a behind, but that's it. Taranto to Ross. Long towards the pocket for Bolton. Another massive fly that doesn't quite come down. McIntosh. Ross. Bullets a handball to Martin. The fend. Gets away from Stocker with the outside of the boot. It's an awkward one. Well gathered by Higgins. Look out, Bonner.
Thank you.
Dusty's up to 16 disposals, and we just saw the trademark "don't argue" on display. Seeing on his haunches there around this contest. The Tigers just trying to keep it alive. Shea Bolton has been electrifying. He couldn't from there, could he? On the last line of defence. Tigers, it's the Saints through Zane Cordy. Now Wanganeen-Milera to Stocker, but Flostone down the line made them pause and think about the next kick. This is exciting youngster Darcy Wilson. Kicks it looking for Membry. Held up. Went over the head of Flostone. Easily taken care of by Rioli, but he got set a handball that sold him into a bit of pressure. Tom Brown with some polish and skill to Dusty. That was elite.
3 metres
Here's a special kick.
Come through.
Yeah, it was a great turn because he had pressure on him. It wasn't a great handball, but he just turned, was calm, and then delivered.
Sean Burgoyne, like the ability to just change your mind mid-kick, Sean. Not an easy thing to do.
No, he did it pretty easy.
Graham. Again to the pocket. Again, Bolton will fly. His aerial work this afternoon really troubling the St Kilda defence.
He is. He's jumping at everything, so it's getting the defenders nervous. Do they stand in front or do they stand behind? Do they hold?
And you know if it goes to ground, he's going to recover quicker than you.
Yeah.
He's a difficult matchup.
And no Lynch down forward at the moment, so he's got the licence to fly. And at the very least, he's preventing St Kilda taking intercept marks. Battle flirts with the boundary line. Well done, Broad. Got a hand in against Butler.
It was good defensive play, Broad. He just handed over when he realised that the ball was going longer. Went back with the flight and influenced the marking contest. He's been good so far today.
One defender almost is asking you to kick that kick, aren't they, Joe? He knew he had it covered, Broad. Intriguing start to this game. Richmond still with the only 4 goals of the match. Marlon Pickett, then Curvis. That's a good-looking kick to Lafau, who's powerful, and we saw his first goal in the first term. It went through almost post-high, so you wouldn't count him out.
No, and he's crashed the packs as well, hasn't he, Sean? If he hasn't taken a mark, he's certainly let the defenders know that he's around.
He's just trying to bring the ball to ground, isn't he, for their smalls with Bolton and co at ground level.
Joined the Tigers VFL in 2022 and he ruptured his ACL 7 weeks in. Return from there is really promising. Gave it a good ride and no problems at all with the distance, but behind 4-3, 28 the Tigers, and St Kilda still yet to score a goal.
Well, they're letting Boston just stand where he wants into defensive half. He's able to put point and get the troops set up where he wants them. So I'd be equaling the numbers forward of the ball.
2 metres back,
Wanganeen-Milera, can he get involved and provide the spark to help Hill and others penetrate that Richmond zone? Brad runs around Bolton, kicks to the wing. Good presentation from Membry. This is where they want to go now and get over the back before Richmond can get set up. It's going to be a slow build-up again. Wilson.
It's far too slow. It's just allowed Richmond to get numbers back now, and you've got to kick it long and high.
So another of these big packs asking a lot of the St Kilda forwards who don't even fly on this occasion. Nankervis can pick it off.
Yeah, he's been good, Nankervis. The ruckman, they're just getting back really hard to help out their fellow defenders.
Foul versus Stocker. He then goes hunting Campbell. He'll turn it over. Jones again. Can they go quickly? Owen's calling for it at 50. Filippo there as well. Goes laterally to Ross. Now working hard from behind. An opportunity here for Wilson. He'll look up. He's got Butler at 50. Wants to go more direct. Marshall with a couple to beat. And that man, Nankervis, again.
Yeah, he's had the better of Marshall so far in this game.
Ball movement like that's going to help him, though.
Yeah.
So they're slow. He's able to run back. And he just plonks himself in the hole. And they kick it long and high as a free run and jump at it.
Seth Campbell, just his 5th game of AFL football. Part of the new face of the Tigers. And there is Rowan Marshall. Takes a strong mark of his own. Filippo. That high bombing kick is making life pretty difficult for Richmond forwards. Jack Higgins, front and centre. Crum got to the perfect spot. Memory out the back, but once again, it's the Richmond defenders who are on top. Miller on this occasion shares it with Broad. Morris Rioli was the intended target, but that kick has been marked by Wilson. Spears one in low. Again, it's just easy pickings. Tom Brown has been able to take that on his chest, and there they go again. Miller, awkward one for Dusty, but he didn't have too many problems.
19th touch for Dustin Martin. Can make it 20. Receives back from Young. Bustles away. Kicks to the wing. Nankervis. Lafau wants to crash the pack.
Toby Nankervis, hold of the arm.
Kosicki, one out at the moment inside 50 as the traffic now tracks back. Nankervis, dangerous, puts Brown under some pressure. He does well, really well. Can work it to Pickett. Kosicki will lead hard towards the pocket. Pickett wants to go more direct. He'll attack the square. Out of bounds on the full.
He did really well, Brown, because the inside kick switch wasn't on from Nankervis, but Brown made it look good and got him out of trouble there.
Nankervis actually had Pickett. It would have been the switch if he took the deeper kick. Brown made it good.
You can hear the play on call. Seb Ross does exactly that down the line. Broad, been resolute back there. Filippo's hands were okay to steal, and now Wilson under a bit of pressure from Maurice Rioli. Good looking ball for Marshall, but look at Dan Rioli. Skill and speed and the poise. He's just dusting tacklers off for fun out there, Daniel Rioli. Through the hands, Wanganeen-Milera. Can he penetrate back the other way now? Here's a big challenge. They're out. Look at Higgins. Goal coming up for St Kilda. Jack Higgins, who works incredibly hard. He covers an enormous amount of territory, and that's on the back of pure hard running.
It was, and they put the pressure on Rioli. Rioli got away from it, but then the kick was to a dangerous spot, and then they were able to springboard off the back of it. Wanganeen-Milera, he's the guy that you want with ball in hand, and he went fast and straight, and that's what they've been able to do.
Ross Lyon never coached a team that hasn't kicked a goal in the first half, and he's not about to start yet. Jack Higgins kicks the first of the afternoon for St Kilda.
Former Tiger gets the Saints on the board. Worked hard for that. They're 25th inside 50 of the afternoon.
The kick from Rioli is to a dangerous spot. They're able to get it into Wanganeen-Milera's hands, and this is what they want. Quick, fast footy through the middle. Remember, he's able to look forward and see Higgins out the back. Much needed goal.
So the Saints dodge a bullet 37 years in the making. Last time they were goalless at half-time, round 14, 1987 against Geelong. Nankervis, nowhere to go there. Darryl Baldock years. The good news for St Kilda, they're only 16 points down.
They're still in the game, aren't they?
Campbell hoists it high. 15 seconds to play. Kosicki at the front is held.
Come through. 1 metre. Thanks, Zane. Oh, it was the end bit, right at the end.
You're a big guy, you take front position. That's what you have to do, and you can make things happen.
You got behind him.
50th game for Jacob Kosicki. 54 goals, 37 at Hawthorn. Chance to kick his first as a Tiger this season. .40 out. Drills it through.
Oh, what a moment. Low-scoring game at Norwood Oval, but Jack Riewoldt alongside me, he's very happy. He may have just let out the Tiger fan in him.
Yes, no, well...
Weekend here in South Australia. Well, at half-time, it is the Saints in trouble at the moment. They trail 22 points to the Tigers, and Brad Johnson, I think a lot of positivity has surrounded the Saints, particularly since they won in Spud's game under the Thursday night lights. It was a really impressive win over Collingwood, but they have just one win for the year. They need to bank some wins.
Exactly. The way that the positiveness that came out of that win against the Pies was enormous, and therefore it's up and about, but they're not playing that way whatsoever. They've been flat this afternoon, and look, they need a big second half now, 22 points down at half-time.
So GWS in Canberra is a tricky one. We look to their leaders now to stand up, and what have they got in response? I'm looking forward to the Dusty and Shays show in this second half because they have been electrifying, Jono.
Yeah, they've been sensational. They're leading the way for the Tigers. They're creating that good run, but good link up through the middle of the ground as well. And bold starting in the midfield in this third quarter is going to be awesome with Dusty down forward for the Tigers.
Absolutely perfect conditions for football. Are you surprised there's only been 6 goals scored?
I am, but I think it's the way St Kilda defend the ground, so they need to get on the scoreboard, get running and get moving in this third quarter.
Let's head it to the middle on Fox Footy. It is Richmond and St Kilda from Norwood.
Nankervis gets the clear tap. Ricochets to Dow, who stayed in the game. Quick kick inside 50. It's cut off by Stocker.
Stand, play on.
Let's have a look at St Kilda's ball movement method early in the third after they've had some reprogramming. Sharman has it on the wing. Quick movement inside. Awkward one for Steele. Rolls the shoulders, beats the tackler. Goes inside 50. King tries to get to the front. Nankervis floats across. Memory receives a handball from Higgins. Caminiti tries to keep it alive. Brown does. Ross immediately tackled by Broad and buried into the very well manicured turf here at Norwood. This surface is superb.
It's a small thing, but Sharman then turned inside instead of outside, which is taking the game on. Just the skill execution, missed that kick. They would have had a better inside 50 look.
Sharman managed to keep it inside. The touch blown call, they didn't hear it, but Bradley Hill, can he get the perfect start for St Kilda in the second half? He can't.
It was better spread, though, from the stoppage, wasn't it? The Goud and Bradley Hill was part of that stoppage and then got out, and that's what they're going to have to do, that transition running.
Some early energy about the Saints. Tigers will need to weather the early storm. Young to Ross.
Play on.
Cordy at the back against Kazitsky.
Holding, Richmond. Arm around.
Gives a free kick away.
Play on.
Ross to half forward. Wanganeen-Milera comes across, gets a hand to it. Sonsi soccers it out of the air. Wilkie versus Martin. Wanganeen-Milera comes across in support. And the numbers went out for the Saints.
Stand. Me.
Not an easy thing to do, get a hold of the ball against Dusty.
Move, play on.
Messiah will enjoy that. He works it back. Kick was okay to Marshall. Now they're getting a bit of overlap run game going as Battle heads down the line. Membry full-chested at it. To the skipper Steele. Deep inside forward 50. Max King. Ground ball to be won. They're fighting hard at ground level. Owen's a great competitor. Just made sure it was kept alive, then picked it up. Brilliantly done from the youngster. And now the kick from Filippo. You heard the call. Play on Membry. Took a strong mark. Can Hill get it right this time? It's gone straight up and down and wide, and the mark's been taken on the last line by Broad.
I feel like their pressure's stepped up St Kilda in this third quarter.
Brown has it in the back pocket. A lot of traffic. He'll head towards Nankervis, who's provided a great target all afternoon. He'll go against Marshall.
Holding Richmond, advantage.
And they'll get out the back again. Away comes Bolton. Sonsi works hard on the inside. He's got a couple of runners who'll go first to Campbell. Well done, Cordy, because Sonsi was all alone inside 50. Cordy, Wanganeen-Milera. Down the line for Membry. Caminiti tracking to the pocket. Now the lead comes. The kick comes in. Well done by Miller. Worked the angles, but it's Hill to Higgins. Misses left.
See, the transition is a lot better now. They're changing the angles, they're going with speed. They're just not allowing the Richmond defenders to get settled behind the ball, are they, Joe?
No, that's right.
Just having a look at Shea Bolton. He's genuinely unhappy that the 1-2 didn't come back.
He was away then, and there Dusty in the 50 by himself.
Given the touch that he's in, Shea Bolton, it would be just get it to him as often as possible. Taranto dropped the mark. He might have taken most times. Ross has got to fight through. He did to Marshall, and you just can see the lifting of rating here for St Kilda. It's noticeable, but the Sinclair kick was favouring Broad, and he's too good a player to do that. Now they get a big change of direction. Marlon Pickett's got time for a fumble. Takes off, takes a bounce, backs his leg speed in. Now they work a series of handballs. Can they get through? Marlon Pickett does well. Sinclair applied some of his own pressure. The Saints have genuinely stepped it up. Advantage is going to be paid. And Sinclair will take it.
Waits for the option. And it's Brad Hill. Membry now leads towards the pocket. Hill goes more centrally. Owen's got his hands to it. Gets to the back. Nankervis as King goes to ground. High kick, well done, Battle, got to the front, didn't complete the grab. Burns, Hill, pokes it back inside 50 again. Marshall in good position. McIntosh this time arrived just in time. Broad tries to bust through. Marshall, Sharman flips out a handball. McIntosh just hacks it out of there. It'll work for Sinclair. 52 out, drives it to the square. Brilliant defence. Once again, this time it's Tyler Young.
Well, they've had plenty of opportunities. They're setting the ground up really well. It's 8-2 inside 50s at the start of this third quarter for St Kilda. They're just not able to capitalise. Other than that last kick, they just make it hard for their forwards. Not on the favoured side, just giving the Richmond defenders an opportunity to come in and spoil.
Well, two of their better users, Hill's kicked the 2 points and Sinclair should have had a shot, but he tried to pass it off.
They are winning the 50-50 ball, though, at the start of this third term. Spills out to Ross. Jack Sinclair, it got through the tackle. Campbell, that handball is going to be a challenging one for Mansell, who did really well. Got it forward, then he confronted Jack Steele, but again, it's the Saints who emerge with the footy. Stocker with a good kick. Philippo dropped one. He goes with a long bomb inside 50. Membry and Max King, front and centre. Goal coming out. Membry's got it. Well, that was just an avalanche of inside forward 50s and pressure, and nice response early in the third term. This for St Kilda. Tim Membry kicks his first goal of the afternoon.
Well, Ross talked about the contest and winning the ball more in the contest, and part of that is creating better turnovers, and St Kilda have been able to do that at the start of this third quarter. It's now 9-2 inside 50s. It's just been repeat entries for them, and eventually the damn wall breaks, and Membry with a good snap, and they needed that reward for effort because they dominated the start of this third quarter.
And it is off the back of winning contest. Ground ball gets in the third term, 11-2 St Kilda. Contested possessions, 15-5. They're winning those 50-50 balls in dispute. And the game is turning. Steele to Ross, towards the pocket. Tigers look to be in good position. Broad couldn't quite get an effective fist. Young out to Flostone. Tiger defenders under pressure, bounces to his feet. Taken down again and gone.
Clear intent there, isn't there? Yep. They all want to get a part of it. They all want to lay a tackle. They all want to get some pressure. There's King. He starts it, and then Butler comes in.
So Dan Butler will kick from just outside 50.
Bit stiff, I thought, Voston there. He got made contact, got boot to ball. I know that it was an illegal disposal.
Butler. Does he wind up or does he set up? He sets up. Well read McIntosh. Taranto heads for the safety of the line. Short with the tackle on Membry. So the Tigers led by as much as 28 points. It's delicately poised now. 13 points. And the Saints have the momentum.
Applying some more pressure here, St Kilda. Caminiti trying to find a way through Butler, and he might get a free kick. He will. And the advantage is going to be paid. Darcy Wilson gets on the end of the goal, and the Saints have jumped out of the box here in this third term. Nice response, St Kilda. Dan Butler received a free kick, but it looks like a different team already in this early part of the third term, back to within 7 points.
Dangerous tackle on Butler, which the umpire called. 360 spin, he lets it play on, and Wilson kicks his first goal for the game.
So for the first time this afternoon, we asked the question, how are Richmond going to respond? What can they do to change things around and get some control back? Graham couldn't get an effective kick. Marshall did. Butler versus Brown. Graham in over the top.
Well, first act is to put your best player back in and around the ball. Martin's gone into the centre square. Martin Taranto in there. Get your Bulls, Graham, as well.
Now Curvis down to Martin. Into the middle of the parade. Burns spreads it wide here for Wilson. Membry working hard, offers a long lead to the right half forward flank. That's ignored. Back inside to Battle. The foul couldn't quite get there. Josh scoots away. Now we can thump it long inside 50. Out comes King. Bustled in that pack. Man in front.
Man in front, Richmond.
Nankervis.
His positioning's all day has been really good, Nankervis. As the drop back ruckman, he's just got to the right spots. Made it hard for Max King in particular.
That's a huge contested mark for the captain. Under pressure, and there's more pressure to come. Stocker. Saints have been brilliant in this third term. They load up again. Nankervis, he's going to have to go back, and he's...
The St Kilda forwards need to recognise he's there. Go down and engage him, make him play one-on-one, and then lead up on him. If you just leave him there, he'll intercept the ball all game.
They're too predictable, aren't they? And if you're not going to engage the direct opponent, or at least look for Rowan Marshall shorter, then he's just going to keep plonking himself where you keep kicking the ball.
You almost see the frustration in Silkberg going 400 games and didn't ever make bad decisions. What are you doing out there?
Inside 50 count, as we saw, 12-3 this term in favour of St Kilda. The game has turned. Ross. McIntosh arrives in support. It's going to get cut off by Bonner. He's got to be quick. Bolton almost got him. Sinclair. Back inside 50 again. King gets a fly this time. A juggle, couldn't complete it. Wins it on the ground. Needs support. Hill pumps it out. Ross. Inside. And Caminiti can make it a one-point game.
Nathan, Mark's back with me.
He's playing forward half footy, aren't they, St Kilda? The pressure's lifted. They're getting better turnovers and better positions, like you said, Joe, and they're getting reward now with shots on goals.
Yep. Stand now. Clear out at the back.
Anthony Caminiti to bring the Saints back within a point. It's been a great response, as we mentioned, for all of Richmond's early dominance. The margin at half-time, just 22 points. And Ross Lyon summed it up pretty well when he spoke with Soda at the start of this third term. It's all about the contest, getting that right, getting hands on the football and starting to get some control, and they've done that to great effect.
Well, it's just been weight of numbers, repeat entries, just forcing Richmond to defend for long periods of time. 13-2 inside 50s at the start of this third quarter, and those opportunities, they're just coming often. Nice snap here. Richmond really have to match St Kilda around the footy.
Another centre clearance win going St Kilda's way. Zach Jones spirals one to the edge of 50, under siege the Richmond defence, and overrunning it, Jaden Short. Max King picked it up. Look at that launch. High one to the square, out the back. Can Wilson get boot to ball? He can't. Scores a level. Joe, this is a complete turnaround in this game if you're the Tigers and Adamuze. Any obvious thing that you're thinking about now?
Well, it's a contested possession where they're just completely getting outworked. 23-10 in the numbers. That's where they have to get busy again, Richmond, around the footy.
Kosicki a relieving mark. They just need a bit of territory and a bit of time in possession here. Get some control back. The numbers in the third term just incredibly lopsided, as they were in the first, but the difference is St Kilda's putting it on the board. Owens. Nowhere for Cordy to go.
That physicality around the ball is what St Kilda really stepped up in this third quarter.
Taranto ricochets into the path of Graham. Bounces the handball to short. Hoisted high. Bolton under this one. Well done, Wilkie with strength. Bonner crunch by Lafau.
Well, that'll help that type of forward tackle from a big key forward. Just watch it, perfect technique. Those are the kinds of acts that get you physically back into the game.
No, Richmond. Yes, Dustin.
Dusty said, I'll have a go at the ruck. Can do it all, the champ. Sinclair really impacting the game. A kick out in front of Wilson. He's super quick. Giving chase Marlon Pickett. Darcy Wilson keeps it in front of him. He had the support there, Marlon Pickett, and he played it well, guided it back to where the numbers were, and then he's worked a little 1-2, but the Saints have applied some really good pressure. Butler, the former Tiger, and another little win there for St Kilda.
Well, Richmond had the outnumber, didn't they? But you saw the defensive spread from the St Kilda boys get there, put the pressure on and even it up.
Great work from Wilson, a first-year player, not to just give up on the contest.
Richmond have had 46 possessions this term, 13 turnovers amongst them. Pressure from St Kilda taking its toll. Burns up and under. Pack gets underneath this one as well. Taranto put the head down and
Richmond advantage.
Earned the free kick. Flostone comes away. Goes towards Lafau versus Cordy. Cordy had position.
When you're winning the contest in the territory, it allows your defenders to set up behind the ball.
Battle uses Bonner. Chips to Jones. McIntosh arrives. Strong grab. Zach Jones, who landed hard. Gives it off. Wanganeen-Milera. Steps Rioli. Goes to Hill. Slips away from Rioli. Uses Bonner. Look out, Rioli came from nowhere.
It's probably Hill didn't need to give the handball. The kick was on. You've done the work. You're in a position now to get it deep inside 50. That extra handball just allowed the Richmond forward, Rioli, to come in and impact the contest.
Like he was shot out of a cannon. And now Martin can go towards Bolton. Marks, bounces, brilliant! Shea kicks his third, and we are seeing some scintillating football. Tigers back in front by a straight kick.
Big contested mark by Jones there. He earned that mark. That was strong. He gets up and takes his kick. And then we see Rioli comes out of nowhere, lays a awesome team lifting tackle. And then Bolton mark, play on snap in front of the Richmond cheer squad. They went nuts. He's a freak, isn't he?
Oh, he's something to watch.
Could you think of a better way to arrest momentum than a Rioli tackle into a Shea Bolton miracle goal? Here's Marlon Pickett. Great contest all of a sudden unfolding here at the Norwood Oval. Saints have been brilliant in this third term. Awkward bounce, picked up nicely by Max King. The handball back in the direction of Filippo. Eyes is kicked to the goal square. Membry, the deepest forward. Off hands and through for a behind.
You can see Butler with his hands out because he was on in the pocket for a little lead. Filippo just needs a bit more composure with the ball. You don't have to blaze away from 60 out.
This game building really nicely now. Richmond have responded.
Feels like it's a real arm wrestle.
Flostone towards Nankervis. Filippo tries to slap it on. Dow through traffic, pops a little handball. Heavy shot from Sinclair. This game's tough. It's tight. And Battle puts on a show. He'll drive it high inside 50. Memory at the back. Here's Higgins. Slips a tackle. Owens, he's run down. Higgins no space to work in. Back towards Memory. He turns tackler. Owens comes through. Can't take it cleanly, and away come the Tigers.
About the triple candy from Josh Battle, and he's back involved in that contest. Mansell ran into a tackler in Ross. Now he's got an issue. Kaczynski guided down to Mansell, who's got some body strength to handle that heat. Sinclair, not an easy mark, but he made it safe. The Saints have really got their momentum going. Ball movement through the corridor. is going to give them a big chance here. Marshall honours the leader, Max King, who dropped a sitter. Dropped an absolute sitter, Max. He will be filthy with himself.
He'd be disappointed because it was a beautiful kick. It's just an easy one. We have a look at this. This would be a contender for Dancing with the Stars. They need to sign him up.
Dancing feet.
King from the pocket. Kicks a miracle goal! This game has gone up multiple notches. We are seeing some highlights, some brilliance and some toughness. And Max King puts the Saints back in front.
Well, he would be disappointed about dropping the easy one, but then how is this for a snap from a 6'5" key forward?
Wasn't even a banana, so
No.
how did it curl that way through?
The mysteries of the AFL-shaped football.
What a brilliant way to respond. Max King dropped the mark he wasn't happy with and then kicks one of the best goals we've seen for a big man in a long, long while. St Kilda in front for the first time this afternoon. And Curvis and Marshall. Well done, Filippo. Thompson Dow's had some ankle issues, surging forward, but Dow in the way. Tim Taranto flicks it back to Jaden Short. And all of a sudden, everything the Tigers are doing is under enormous pressure. Steele's been brilliant. Back to Rowan Marshall, to Hill. There's space and time. Bradley Hill probably was going for Higgins. It ends up with Owens. Can St Kilda get another one? They've kicked 5-1 this quarter. And Mitch Owens delivers his first. Brilliant comeback, St Kilda. 22 points down at half-time. Now out to a 7-point lead.
They're getting the ball into their users now. They bring the ball through the middle. We saw Nazar Wanganeen in there, and now Brad Hill is at 11 disposals for the quarter, kicking the ball inside 50. And they finish with a goal to Owens. But they're getting it done around clearances, contested possessions, and then the end result, 19-4 inside 50s.
Yeah, their ball use by foot's been great. 73% they're going at in this term, despite the heat. Taranto inside 50. Ball gets over the back. Wilkie first back. He's skittled. Here's a chance for Sonsi. Can he find the football? Get to his feet and find his boot? Well done, Stocker. Bonner elects not to concede. Cordy back to Bonner. And they'll escape to Ross. Now battle. Wanganeen-Milera. Bonner again. Can Richmond hold them up? Higgins uses the body. Out comes Nan Curvis. Flosstone's handball. Butler couldn't quite claim it. Ross tried to be creative, was picked off. Hill, Butler, well done Rioli, smothers. Taranto goes off the ground. Butler goes back to try and win it. Did he haul it back in? Yes, he did.
It was good work by Taranto. It followed up. Big contest to win because the Saints are out. First the smother and then the tackle. You feel like these contests around the middle of the ground are so important.
And ground ball gets this quarter 24-13 in favour of the Saints, Joe. It's where it's turned.
Yeah, they've been under siege, Richmond, so they need to get some ball in their forward half.
Bolton! You just knew he was going to mark it.
On the 50.
He was too deep. And he is unplayable.
He knew he was going to mark that the whole way through, didn't he?
Yeah. Just such confidence in his own ability, isn't it? It is great to watch.
Let him run. Let him run.
Putting on some sort of a clinic this afternoon. Shea Bolton sets it out wide. He's got the draw on it. It's coming back. Oh, wow. It's coming back. He's got 4 of the best. This is a masterclass of the highest order. Shea Bolton doing things other players have only ever dreamt of. 4 goals and some highlights that you just want to keep seeing over and over again.
Just have a look at the athleticism here by Bolton. And then being able to finish. We thought before the game that he and Dusty would have to kick between 6 and 8 between him. Well, he's contributed 4 already. 7 goals for the quarter between each team. Saints with 5. Richmond with a really important one there just to arrest some momentum.
We'll throw it up.
4th time he's kicked 4 in his career. He just waved away Lafau to say, no, I'm going to take this on, and then started it outside the behind post and crafted it back. What a goal. Away comes Jones. Brilliant, Zach Jones. Now to Marshall. Caminiti at the front. Ball hits the ground. Flostone underneath that.
As the players have got a little bit more fatigued, it's really opened up, especially out of that centre bounce. They're getting some burst away
St.Kilda up.
from the centre clearance. We saw Jones then put the accelerator down.
What a thrilling quarter of football this has been. Sharman.
Anthony,
Some
Toby,
individual brilliance
hold the meter.
with
Arms
plenty
up,
of toughness. And Curvis
Holding, Richmond.
earns a free kick.
Anthony, stand. Anthony, stand.
Played really well today, Nan Curvis. Got to the right position, been strong around the contest.
Wilkie will fly over the top.
Right, thanks, guys. Back in this way. Thanks. Thanks, Thompson.
Down last to get up.
Then Curvis. In front row, Marshall. Big boys have been battling it out all afternoon, and they continue that battle.
Thanks, guys. Let him up. Let him up, Toby. Back in this way, guys.
Wonderful atmosphere here this afternoon at the Nord Oval. Full house. Beautiful day, and this contest is just living up to it. It's gone to new heights in this 3rd quarter, hasn't it? The Saints, you've got to admire their ability to come back. Not always easy when you haven't started well, Job, to turn the game around, and Ross has been able to get them playing the way he wants.
And they weren't getting reward for effort in that 2nd quarter on the scoreboard, but it hasn't deterred them, and they've come out even harder in this 3rd quarter, and now they've been able to capitalise.
Marshall lays it down at Steele, who was
Holding.
tackled before he took possession. Umpire thought about
Holding
advantage,
St.Kilda.
but waited to see that Hill wouldn't be able to slip away from Campbell. Comes back
Time back on.
to Jack Steele. 22nd touch. Kick to the top of the square. Gets over the back. Pickett to the pocket. And the cheer is for first gamer Kane McAuliffe, who's into the game. And what a hot game he enters. 2:23 to play in this 3rd term. Stocker immediately tackled by Bolton. Business really picked up in this 3rd term. Just 4 goals in the first half. It's been an electrifying quarter of football at the parade.
Holding, St.Kilda.
St.Kilda free kick. Captain Jack Steele is just a warrior.
Time back on.
He's really willed his team back into this contest.
He certainly has. He's led the way. He's 14 contested possessions of his 22 disposals, 7 tackles, 5 inside 50s, and 3 clearances. He's just got really physical around the ball, and that's what Ross talked about coming out of half-time, is that's where they needed to lift, and he's certainly led the way, and particularly in this 3rd quarter.
Top 3 in all the last 5 best and fairest, including 2 wins. Jack Steele, he's just become a super consistent A-grade player. That one looked pretty good off the boot, but floats across and hits the post.
Rioli motions to go long. Kosicki and Wilkie. Taranto will come across the front, went through his hands. Steele taken down. Taranto slick to Martin. Down the line, working hard to get there is Mansell, and Jones takes ball and body.
Toby. Rowan. Toby's come 10. Toby. 10. Toby. Coming in. Yeah.
Marshall, the only man to compete. Might still work for the Tigers. Mansell trying to find it and was clipped high by Steele.
Richmond.
So approaching the final minute of the third term. An opportunity here for Richmond to regain the lead. Mansell goes towards Kosicki. Well played, Wilkie.
And the Richmond forwards, they were just too stationary. And when the free kick was paid, that's when they had to start moving. They were all just standing still, allowing St Kilda backs to get set. A good lesson there about movement as a forward.
One has got out of bounds on the full in this narrow ground. And something that you've got to be careful of. Tom Brown has got 40 seconds left until three-quarter time. Time for another score either way. Nankervis has gone forward this time. He's in good marking form. Cooper Sharman back there to Riley Bonner. Tyler Sonsi was eyeing off a short one to Lafau. But now the Saints through Jones and Max King running back really hard is Jack Higgins. He's going to get it lace out like a touchdown pass in the Super Bowl, and Higgins has nailed it. It's his trademark goal. He runs so hard back. He burns opponents off with work rate, and it was Tom Brady with the Hail Mary, Joe, but it couldn't have laced him out any better.
No, it was Brady, Edelman and King. That's the time to roll then, when you're up the ground and you can play on quickly, and no one does it better than getting back to goal. Great transition from St Kilda all the way from deep inside their defence, and Jones here does the right thing, lowers the eyes. King leads up at the footy and then rolls. That's what you have to do.
It was Jones, wasn't it? He put the accelerator in, got the handball received, broke the line, and then he lowered his eyes instead of just blazing away.
And they'll be searching for that footy out on the street. That's gone a long way.
That's in someone's backyard, backpack.
That's a gather-round souvenir.
I understand there's a few kids that are camped out the back there eyeing off the Sherrans.
Graham doesn't hit the kick. Sinclair attacks it. And one of the most watchable quarters we've seen all season sees the Saints come from 22 points down to 8 points up. It's three-quarter time at the parade. It's St Kilda 7-11-53. Richmond 7-3-45. St Kilda sprung to life in that third term. They kicked 6-6 to 2 straight goals in a scintillating quarter of football. Mark Soderstrom.
Well, it was amazing, wasn't it, Chase? Huge turnaround after being 22 points down at half-time. We've got to say, Ross Lyon looked really relaxed at half-time. Inside 50 count, 21-9. That term, they won the contested footy plus 13, so they're looking really good. Thompson Dowell is out of the game. We saw him roll that ankle for the Tigers in the first quarter. Kane McAuliffe did come on as a sub late in that third term, so Thompson Dowell done. Obviously, Angus Hastings still an opportunity to come on for the Saints. And the Tigers are yet to win a fourth term so far this year, so the Saints, no doubt, full of run, full of confidence.
Thanks, Soda. Underway here at Norwood Oval. Final term. Sinclair wins it back from half-back. Owens was tackled without the footy. Played it well, Mitch Owens.
Come on. Come back on, stand. Whose feed's on?
Great young competitor. Third in the Rising Star last year as he just goes a little sandwich, and it was well crafted, that kick. He put it perfectly for Rowan Marshall.
He has, and Nankervis has been sitting in that hole all day, and he just pulled the kick to Marshall's favourite side, just in front of where Nankervis was actually situated. We just see here it was engaged and then looking for Marshall, which they haven't done all day.
I reckon it was mentioned at three-quarter time. Go down and lead up off him and get him out of the hole.
It's a good adjustment, that play, isn't it, to ask a question of Nankervis. Rowan Marshall, such an important part of this St Kilda lineup. He starts it out right, and that right to left bend at this side, he loved it. He slid it home, Rowan Marshall. I think he might have surprised himself with that. There's a bit of draw to the right of screen. Saw Shea Bolton executed beautifully earlier, and the first goal for the Saints is important.
His footy's flat.
It's a big goal to start the quarter. They would have made mention of going down and engaging in your opponent and then leading up off him, and then it actually works a minute or two into the quarter. You're feeling pretty good about yourself.
Time is now for Richmond. They trail by 14 points.
Play on.
Here's the first gamer.
High tackle.
And he'll get his first
Stand.
touch. Kane McAuliffe.
Play on.
Cordy up in front
Play on.
to Hill.
Play on.
Great work on the mark from Flostone. Turnover comes. Taranto, Graham, Flostone. Here's McAuliffe. Can he hit a target inside 50? It was a hot one for Sinclair. Mansell.
Not 15. Play on.
Martin underneath it, tried to paddle to the advantage of McIntosh. Sharman bustled out of the way by Lafau.
That's it.
And Sinclair can clear to Marshall.
Really have got their game going, St Kilda. Seb Ross, the kick is an awkward one. It's going to be picked up by Flostone, who's just so good. Miller had a brain fade. I'm not sure. He thought he was going to handball or kick, and then he somewhere in between.
Yeah,
Preston, you've seen that.
Yeah.
Joe?
Sure. No. He was thinking kick, and then he thought handball right at the last moment, and he was already committed to the kick.
He kicked it around his own teammate to his teammate.
Marshall slaps it down. McIntosh. Lafau's going to come charging at it. The half volley was awkward, but Cordy has been strong back there. Campbell finds Cooper Sharman. Sliding in Caminiti. Nice pickup from the first gamer. Showing some great early signs. Kane McAuliffe.
Yeah, they put him in the centre as well, starting off, and just some really good composure. You see his family here, they'll be nervous watching him, but excited as well.
Down from Port Augusta. Bolton. Martin towards the pocket, crafts the kick for the foul. McKelty follows up. Off to Graham. Chips it over the top. Sonsi goes back with the flight. Well done, Wilkie.
I think Lafau just didn't read the flight of the ball. If he kept running at the ball, he would have marked it around his knees. Instead, he let it bounce. A missed opportunity for him.
Do feel like for Richmond to win, they're going to need Martin and Bolton again to really have big last quarters. They connected just before and it almost resulted in a shot on goal.
Burns heading down the line. A big launch from behind. Floston. Owens was well tackled and he had a fresh area, and as a result, Jaden Short's going to be rewarded. We know what a penetrating kick Short is. He's got the foul as the deepest forward. Bolton's working his way down there. There is the big long bomb. Can Shea get a bit of a launch at it? Here comes the foul off his hands into the pocket. Oh, a clever little knock on from Bolton to Sots. He's going to be in goal. We're going score review. The instinct was that was going to be a goal.
It's a goal. Check was in touch before it crossed the line, please. Thank you.
Score review. Umpire's call is a goal. Please confirm it wasn't touched.
Review underway. Review complete. Looking at this angle, we can see the ball's crossed the back of the goal line before being touched. Decision on the scoreboard.
There's another little bit of Shea Bolton genius in that with a deft little touch to Tyler Sonsi. As Joe Watson said a moment ago, you feel like it's going to be Bolton and Martin involved in finding a way to get the Tigers back over the line, and that certainly helps.
Isn't it a huge day, Lafau, but he's not afraid to crash a pack, and he just creates a contest, and we just see here the deft little touch from Shea Bolton. Beautiful, and a great dribble goal, and really important one just to keep Richmond close.
Margin back to 7 points. Nankervis takes it from the ruck. Bolton charges at it. Advantage paid, play on. Taranto. Swooping in there is Brad Hill. Did really well because he paddled it to Ross and got it going St Kilda's way. Rioli runs down Wilson.
On the ball, Richmond.
He has just flown into your screen a couple of times this afternoon. Come from nowhere, and Brad Hill grabbing at that right leg. Inside 50. Kosicki almost. And there's Brad Hill.
Just have a look at this here. This is contest.
Stop the play. Is this an injured player?
Collision.
Clash of legs.
Yeah.
And then he hit the ground really awkwardly as well. There's a blood rule in the meantime.
It's active. Hill.
He's had a good day so far, Brad. He's had the 24 disposals, and was one of the key reasons why they were able to get back in the contest, wasn't it? His third quarter.
Yeah.
Here's another look. Tangle of legs in there.
Yeah, they really will need his run and carry in this last quarter. We know how good an endurance athlete he is.
There's Angus Hastie, made his debut last week. So now it's his turn for the heart rate to spike a little. A chance to get into the game potentially. They'll assess Brad Hill. So we'll have a throw in. Marshall the tap. McAuliffe got first hands on it. It's underneath Rowan Marshall.
Just Richmond have been able to control territory in this last quarter. 7-1 inside 50s. They're playing the ball, the game in their half. St Kilda are just going to have to defend.
Keep your eye on Dustin Martin around this one, or Shea Bolton as well. He's forced his way into the tackle. St Kilda under some heat. Clearing kick from Marshall to the one-on-one of the wing. Picking it up, Tyler Sonsu kicked the last goal. Good fight from memory. Made sure he halved that contest and trapped it on the outer wing here at Norwood Oval. Spectacular afternoon, sun shining. Nankervis didn't quite get to the contest, so a free clearance coming up. Seb Ross drives him inside forward 50, but this incredible defender, Nick Flostone, is just so hard to get past. Rookie. Campbell was engaged by Bonner, and that allowed Cal a free run. Measures the kick to the pocket for Membry.
It's a great kick because Flostone was drifting off. He was expecting it to go to Max King, and he just pulled it late. Membry had that separation, but really smart. And as we talked about, Silk, they've obviously identified that the Richmond defenders are going to come off their opponents. They're going to re-accuse early, so don't be afraid to pull the kick and find the forward. And he made that decision really quick, didn't he? He didn't get back and wait the 5 or 6 seconds and allow numbers to get back. All one-on-ones, and he made his decision.
Deep breath for Tim Membry. It's been a superb finisher for the Saints over the years. What a scene. 49 out. Gets underneath this one. Little drop in a dangerous spot. Off hands, Nankervis. Got it on his knees. Rioli. Brown. Smothered. Big crowd. Perfect day. Really entertaining game.
Need to be on the move at stoppages if you're a St Kilda forward.
Nankervis with the experience over Caminiti.
Body contact so important as if you're a midfielder or a defender here. Silk, you've got to be able to get body contact on your direct opponent.
Just see them all pairing off as Joe Watson described. Cooper Sharman gets some purchase on the kick to the pocket. It bounces and then takes a break back towards goal. Rush through by Flostone. So out to an 8-point margin for St Kilda. Still got plenty of time left.
Short measures it to Rioli.
Stand.
And Curvis off for a spell. Well earned. He has worked so hard this afternoon. A foul replaces him. Kosicki the target down the line. 26 touches for Dustin Martin, 24 for Taranto, 21 for Short and 20 for Ross. While for the Saints, 26 to Steele, 24 to Hill and 22 to Bonner.
So does any update on Brad Hill's status down there in the boundary line?
Yeah, Jace, he's had that right shin patched up and he looks to be moving okay for the moment, so I reckon they're going to have another crack at putting him back out there and see how he feels.
Thanks, Soda. So there was a little bit of a gash as he hit the ground. There was a bunch of boots in there.
Just clear this way, guys.
They applied a bandage to it straight away, or a towel to it straight away. Brown. Marshall runs into Pickett. Ball comes back to that pair. Battle. Bumped off his kick. Well done, Brown. Out point Steele in the air. Waits the kick to half forward for Sonsi. It was perfect. He looks inside 50. Kosicki's the main target, so he'll go shorter. Find Bolton, who this afternoon could just about roll out the barrel and make it from there. Anything's possible. He has been phenomenal. Foul the big target, but couldn't get there. And Marshall now doing what Nankervis has done all day.
Well, Nankervis is on the bench, so that's why Marshall's able to get back there and stand in the hole.
That's a beautiful kick, Riley Bonner. Oh, Jones just couldn't get a handle on it. Opens the door here again. Brown's been super impressive. Managed to get free of the tackle. It's going to come back. Here he is again, the debutant McAuliffe involved. And Marshall in the box seat. Ground ball. Saints have got the numbers. Oh, look out, Morris Rioli. Get nervous if you're a St Kilda defender, but they have had enough composure to get it to Seb Ross. And he waits a kick nicely for Owens.
Push out.
Wanganeen-Milera going through for the handball receive. You give it to him, he's getting it at the back to Max King one-on-one.
Owens will go towards Membry, who has to come over the top. Flostone against Hill, who's, as Soda mentioned, having another opportunity to test that leg.
So if Owens gives the ball, they're at the back to a 1v1 dangerous position. They don't. They over-fumble, and then they get it out of bounds, and now Richmond had a reset.
Slightly there for Brad, but he's going to give it a go and see how it settles. Kosicki tried to get it to McAuliffe. Graham tries to crash through only as far as Steele. He wraps him up. Well done, Jack Graham just kept going. Sinclair so clean. Slick hands to Wilson. To half forward, member at the front. Elevates. It'll get over the back. Higgins versus Floston. Higgins kept his feet. King looks for an option inside to the corridor. Ross is going to have to come over the top. Does just enough to spoil. Critical hand in there from Ross. Quick kick out of there from Young. Going back with courage, Kosicki at ground level. Sinclair, there's a Tiger down. 5 metres behind the play. It's McAuliffe, the first gamer. Fortunately, he's right near the boundary line, so they can get him off quickly and not be a man down, but suddenly things getting busy on the bench. As Kane makes his way off, there's mum and dad.
Can't help but think of the McAuliffe family. That's tough, isn't it? Young son, he's only metres away from mum and dad on debut. He's such an impressive young player. The way he's attacked the first few contests, so hopefully nothing untoward there. Ross goes long. Lafau's going to have a launch at it, but Cal Wilkie, that was brilliant. 113th consecutive game for Wilkie. Debuted in round 1, 2019, Silk, and hasn't missed.
He just knows when to initiate contact, doesn't he? When the ball's just about to land at the contest, he's so smart.
Josh Battle. Patient build-up now. Good to see Bradley Hill overcome that shin issue. Finding targets here pretty comfortably. Ryan Burns with the next kick. Mitch Owens wants it deep. They're going to head in his direction. He's capable. Got edged underneath the footy, and a free kick. It's going to go the way of Caminiti it is.
Caminiti, please.
He thinks Mitch Owens is Caminiti, the umpire, but that's okay. Riley Bonner is going to have a shot. He's a very classy kick, and he's got it. Well summed up, St Kilda, and Riley Bonner kicks a really important goal.
I believe it's the goal. Looks like the Score review. Umpire's call is a goal. Can we just check it hasn't touched the post?
Review underway. Review complete. Looking at these angles, we have a gap between the ball and the goalpost at all times. Decision on the scoreboard.
So the Tigers a man down. This is Kane McAuliffe. Awkward twist of the ankle in that contest with Jack Sinclair. And then, as you mentioned, Mitch Owens knows the capabilities of his teammate off to Riley Bonner, and he drains the long bomb to give the Saints a 14-point lead inside 10 minutes. Nankervis
Thanks.
continues his battle this afternoon with Rowan Marshall. It's been fun to watch. Both have had their moments. Nankervis goes shoulder to shoulder. Ross tries to escape. Nankervis sets it up for Graham. He's harassed out of it. Filippo can't get a clean possession. Nankervis found his boot. It was smothered. Ross versus McIntosh. Sharman. In goes Taranto. Off to McIntosh. Can't escape the Ross tackle.
Toby, Rowan. Here we go.
Marshall a tap. Graham, the crumb. Off to Ross. Inside 50 again, and Wilkie.
Stand, play on.
He's been so good this afternoon in key moments. Takes that grab and spreads it wide for Wilson.
Sean, you talked about his just body position, just knows when to make contact.
Play on.
A couple of really big defensive marks in this last quarter from Wilkie.
Wanganeen-Milera. He's got a short one on to battle.
Stand, play on.
Sharman, the next link in the chain.
3 metres. Stand.
The Saints only kicked their first goal about a minute and a half before half-time, and they were all at sea in the first half. Great credit to this team, though. Been able to get the game back on their terms. Max King from the side, Membry. Look out, Morris Rioli and Wanganeen-Milera. Some speed and skill involved there. Free kick going.
Hold the jumper.
To Nasaya.
Stand.
Oh, he's kicked a helicopter and turned it straight over to Blostone. Can they make them pay? Taranto, Shea Bolton's going to launch. Wilkie, hands from Kaczynski to Morris. Brent to ball, and Morris gets his second. One of the most famous names at St.Kilda, Morris Rioli. We've seen so many goals come from senior, and Morris Jr. kicked the first of the afternoon here at Nord. Now he's got a couple, and that keeps this game well and truly alive.
Well, just the turnover in the middle of the ground again, and Rioli comes from the centre. He's drifting in, great hands. Gets to the right spot and a good finish, but getting it closer and closer. Richmond stay in touch.
Wonderful contest from Bolton to make sure that was a crumb and not another intercept mark. Marshall, little tap in the Steele direction, definitely paddled towards Filippo. Gets past Dan Rioli. Hill worked off it. Rioli slips away. Gets past Ross. In fact, Butler kicks towards half forward. Wanganeen-Milera has turned around. Handball was a bit too hot for Wilkie. Now a chance for Martin from the boundary line. Looks inside, measures the kick. Sinclair. And the ball finds the line as Richmond surge once again. They're back within 8 points.
He did the unselfish thing there, Dusty. But you'd have no problem with him having a shot on goal from that angle. He's done it time and time again.
Kaczynski will do the ruck work against Marshall. Gets the tap, comes to him on the ground, tries to feed it out. Saints happy to try and hold it in. Martin can't escape. Steele spins through a tackle. Really clean from Filippo. Handball a little fierce.
High contact. St. Kilda.
We'll come back to Cooper Sharman.
Stand there.
Coming up for disposal, number 17, Cooper Sharman. He's battled strongly across the afternoon. Comes his grandstand wing side, Max King.
Let him up.
So valuable that ability to take a contested mark late in the game.
Yeah, that strength, the craft, he was outnumbered, but he just had the strength to protect the space. Great mark.
With a well-weighted kick. Jack Steele, who thought about going. Finds Filippo. He's got Membry out the back. There's numbers if he's keen to pull the trigger. See, Tim Membry is dancing and waving his arms around saying, "You've got to go. Get it to me. I'll do it anyway." Butler front and centre. Owens handball up in the air. Still a live ball bouncing around there. Brad Hill trying to reef it out. And eventually going to have to ball this one up, Sil.
I'm not sure Filippo's seen him. So he went back and he kicks that kick 3 or 4 seconds earlier. That's an uncontested mark to Tim Membry in the forward pocket.
I was thinking about giving off a handball rather than looking downfield. And the moment was lost. Membry goes in the ruck. Brown towards the boundary line. Bends it around to keep it alive. Sonsi versus Sinclair, shoulder to shoulder. In comes Graham.
High contact. St Kilda.
Illegally.
Yeah, you go through,
Hanks in the hole again. Now Marshall's going to go down and try re-engage with him.
Here's what's ahead of Jack Sinclair. A mass of players. This will be a big pack. Miller. Quick kick. Off hands. Filippo. Can he get through some traffic? Quick handball. Butler runs in to traffic. Sinclair keeps it alive. Flips it over the top. It didn't bounce for Hill. Brown's got to commit the body against Higgins. Miller can't find it on the ground. Richmond defence under enormous pressure. Filippo, tackle, taken to ground.
Well, some tired players out there, and they're looking directly into the sun as well. It's difficult for them to see it. Just got to stay tough over the ball.
Owens, brilliant smothering effort. It's such a critical moment of the game. Outstanding work from Tyler Young. His teammates get around him. A goal either way might be the game, you sense, as now Curvis and Membry. Toby from behind. Still took on a tackler and a second one, and then he squeezed a little handball back. Tigers hanging on.
You mentioned it, Joe. The ball's right in that shadow spot, so you're turning, you're looking in the sun, you're looking in the shadow. There are blind spots, and the game has been played at a fast pace now as well.
St Kilda sub Angus Hasty getting ready to check into the game with 5 to go. Sinclair. Tigers have got coverage. It's Miller. Dan Rioli. Tidy to Martin. 28th touch for Dustin. It's a long kick towards half forward. Bolton waits at the back. Lafau created a contest. Ross. Wanganeen-Milera being hunted. High kick. Brought in good position. Spoils to the front. Lovely pick up from Ross. Martin. Graham. Dan Rioli. Sweeping handball. Sonsi goes to a one-on-one inside 50. It's Battle versus Rioli. Ball on the ground. Rioli lays the tackle on Wilkie. Slapped away by Ross. Wilson under pressure. Worked off it. Tigers an opportunity. Important slap out. And Hill can get it to Ross. And the Saints escape.
Brilliant effort from the fourth gamer, Wilson, just to get that slap out. It was almost going to be a goal the other way, and great composure from the young man in his first season. Membry happy to switch to Stocko. He's got the sire, Wanganeen-Milera. Angus Hasty, the second gamer, is lurking on this wing, offering a short target. He goes over the top. Sharman. Owens out the back. Coming in is Ross. And neither can keep it in.
Still plenty of time. Richmond just require the 2 scores. You're going to have to keep the ball in motion, keep it moving, keep speed on the game if they can.
Curvis at the front. Well done, Steele.
St Kilda will be more than happy just to play a minute or two in this dead pocket here. Repeat stoppages.
St Kilda up.
Tiger fans in the grandstand are ready to go up for insufficient intent.
No St Kilda.
So no ruck allows Nankervis to just take it and give it straight to Broad, who can take off, look up, has got some support. Campbell off the back edge of the square, will kick it long towards half forward. Can Lafau get back to create a contest? Did enough to get it to ground. It's still there for Richmond. Sonsi needs support. None comes in time, and Wilkie sweeps it to Sinclair. He goes short to Wilson. Steps past Broad. Goes down the line. Well done, Dan Rioli.
He's going to get it moving immediately. Dustin Martin got it from Steele. It's in brilliant hands now. The sweeping handball over the top. Sonsi's got to keep it in. He's confronted immediately by Wilkie. Wanted to go back to Dusty. Put the St Kilda defence through Stocker. And now Sinclair have got the answers at the moment. A little overzealous.
So smart on Stocker there. He's on Bolton, the most dangerous player on the ground, but he still presses and leaves him and gets the intercept.
That was great defensive play, wasn't it?
Time all of a sudden becoming an issue. 2.5 minutes.
Move it on. Play on.
St Kilda happy to go the slow play. The long bomb, free kick going the Saints' way.
Max King. Time back on.
Just held on, did Tyler Young. Got a little nervous, and Max.
Going to game scenario mode now. Run the clock down the last couple of minutes versus Richmond going to take the game on.
Max King's kick was a little half volley for Marshall, so inside 50 they go, St Kilda. The fist from Ross, slapped dangerously back in the path of Bradley Hill, and he's missed.
And this ball, you feel like it needs to go straight down the corridor. Get as much territory as, get the numbers set.
Not much set up down the middle, though, so they look to run it through the zone. Rioli accelerates from Sharman. Now maybe an opportunity. Campbell's got to go.
That's the handball straight from the middle of Rioli. He's on his bike.
Young is a penetrating kick.
Yours.
To the pocket for Bolton. Lunging effort. Lovely pick-up, Sonsi. Wonderful tackle. Wilson nails him.
A couple of big efforts from Wilson this last quarter, and it's been his ability to cover the ground. He's had that speed to keep going. We know
the closing speed,
how prolific he is as a runner, and it's come to the forefront there. Great couple of efforts late in this game.
Goes long to the wing, off hands and out. So with 1:10 to play,
just have a look at this.
By 9.
Just the ground that he covers, still working that high speed. Repeat efforts, fantastic from a first-year player.
Won their time trial pre-season, Jobe and Silton. We've heard so much about the athletic profile that they're loving with the run and speed at St Kilda, and you saw it on display there. Jack Steele, it's going to be picked up by Vlostone. He'll understand that it's got to be full risk-taking mode, high, long and straight. Over the back. Can the Tigers ask one late question? Campbell's going to send them long into attack. They're well set up back there. Memory's gone. Loose man back. Oh, he's dropped it. Bolton came flashing through. They've still kept it alive. Wanganeen-Milera. It's still alive. Shea Bolton. They're asking for trouble down here. Sonsi's going to snap. They're immediately signaling touch. Stop the boot. What have we got here?
Score review. Umpire's call is touch. One behind. Can we just check if it's touched off the boot?
Review underway. Review complete. Looking at this angle, we can see the ball's touched by the right hand of the St Kilda defender. Decision on the scoreboard.
St Kilda fans breathe a huge sigh of relief. They had 3 opportunities to rush that through.
Yeah. They were trying to think their way through the play, weren't they? They didn't want to give a free kick away.
St Kilda they've set up long down the line here. They've just got to get the ball to where the density is. Richmond need to keep it live, keep it going, keep it moving.
Sinclair will go long and wide. McIntosh can't complete the grab. Ross ensures a stoppage.
Good tackle. Important tackle.
Thanks, Nick.
Keep it in congestion if you're St Kilda.
Ross wins the clearance. He's short. High kick. The foul fly. Gets to the front. Taranto finds his boot. And kicks the goal, does he? Was this one touched as well?
Same players around the ball are calling it.
I believe it's a goal. Check the ball was touched over the line, please. Yep. And we're going to check on the boot as well. Score review. Goal. Goal. Yep. Score review. Umpire's call is a goal. Can we please check if it was touched off the boot and touched on the line here?
Yeah.
Review complete. Looking at this angle, we see the ball's touched by the right hand of the St Kilda defender. Decision on the scoreboard.
Practically right on the final siren. Couple of nervous moments late for the Saints. But they return to the winners list. St Kilda with a critical victory that squares their ledger at 2-2. They trailed by as much as 23 points. It was 22 at the half. They kicked 6 goals to 2 in the third term to head to the final change with an 8-point lead. 2 goals apiece in a tight final quarter. And the Saints are home at the parade. Soderstrom.
Joining me, Callum Wilkie. Cal, welcome back home. Gee, that was tough at the end there. Just a couple of little hairy moments.
Yeah, no, it was tough. We played very bad in that first quarter, and we wanted to come out of last week and play our system, and we didn't do that. But Ross gave a good spray at quarter time and half time and kept the boys in gear.
Watched him. He did give you a fair go at quarter time, but when he came out at half time, he still looked very composed because you were still getting a lot of the ball forward. Yeah,
definitely. That second quarter, we got the game on our terms. We just didn't execute going forward, so we knew. Just keep playing our way, play front half footy, and it will eventually turn, and we got it on the scoreboard in the end. Now,
we know you played your junior footy at Walkerville just a couple of minutes from here. How many of the Wilkie clan are in here today?
Yeah, 35, I reckon. I had to keep getting tickets last night, so it's good to have friends and family come out. It's good to be home.
Wonderful concept, mate, and well done to you. You've been playing some brilliant footy since you crossed over from the Roosters. Congrats.
Thanks, Otis. Appreciate it. Good to see you.
Really important win for St Kilda. They get it to 2-2.
Congrats, man.
And they've all been tight games. Soda with Rowan Marshall.
Rowan Marshall, congratulations, mate. As we said there, that first half, 22 points down, but it felt like you were still so much in the game.
Yeah, we just didn't bring our Saints footy in that first half, and it was really disappointing, but sort of got a bit of a rev up at half time, and we knew we had to bounce back in the second half, and I thought we did that really well, which is really pleasing. Obviously, you had the win over Collingwood. The other 2 games you lost, you were in both those games really well, so 2-2, but it's been a pretty good start of the season. Yeah, we've definitely had our ups and downs. Good footy's good, but we've just been too inconsistent at times, but we'll work on it, we'll review it during the week and get to work and move on pretty quickly next week to GWS. Love watching a battle with you and Big Toby in the middle there. It went pretty well? Yeah, he's a big boy, and you're always going to be pretty sore after coming up against Big Nank, and he was able to drop back and take some intercept marks at times, but he's a super ruckman, and I love coming off against the best. Mate, did wonderfully well, 2-2, and the whole concept, it's just been a great weekend, hasn't it? Yeah, it's been awesome. I love it here at Norwood. The atmosphere was unreal, and it's such a good spectacle for the AFL here, gather around in Adelaide, and I've had my parents come over from Portland, so I think it was about a 6.5-hour drive, so great to have them here. Brilliant, mate. Congratulations. Great win. Another nail-biter for gather round. Yeah, bloody oath. Looking forward to it. Cheers.
Thanks, Soda. Thanks to Rowan Marshall. Pretty happy St Kilda. They lost by 4 points last week, the Saints, and so did well to come back at half-time. That's what's to come for the Tigers. West Coast Eagles over in Perth. Job up next for Richmond. They got the bye, and then Melbourne and Fremantle.
They're a very competitive side there. They're just not quite being able to get over the line, but again today they really difficult pressure, being able to move the ball really quickly. Their leg speed's going to bother a lot of teams. Disappointing for them not to be able to win the game, but they were good again.
Yeah, they were. And, you know, the game went in ebbs and flows. One team had momentum, then the other team. And we went down to 2 score reviews in the last 30 seconds. So both teams had opportunities to win the game today.
I think if you're a Richmond supporter looking at Musa, you can generally see that's a team buying in. They want to play for their coach. Had a great win last week, having lost 2 of their best players, Noah Boulder and Tom Lynch, from the week before. So I think some positive signs there for the Tigers. And Ross Lyon, that took great character for me. They were down 22 points at half-time. They were all over the shop in the first half, and you don't always get it back, but they managed to in the second half. Let's get back down to Soda. He's got St.Kilda captain Jack Steele.
Jack, congratulations, mate. We can walk and talk down here because you've got plenty of fans that have come all the way over. What a brilliant concept and what a great win.
Yeah, it was great. The whole experience, I suppose, was my first one. I didn't play last year, but so good to see so many fans at the footy, and in particular Saints fans getting down to Norwood and supporting us today.
Yeah, it's brilliant. When you look at this little ground, it would have been like a ground you would have played a bit of junior footy, your development footy coming up. What's it feel like running around playing AFL footy? Because you look at all these St Kilda people behind the goals, it's remarkable.
I'll be honest with you, Sodas, it doesn't really feel like an AFL game. It feels like a sort of bit of a pre-season game, bit of community series game. Yeah. Obviously, there's 4 points on the line, so you get reminded of that pretty quick. But just playing at a venue like this is, brings you back to your juniors.
Must have been really, really proud of your boys because obviously that first half, you were still in the game so much, yet on the scoreboard, it was a pretty significant gap you had to make up.
Yeah, we were probably pretty frustrated early with the missed opportunities we didn't really quite take. But, yeah, it was good to get a bit of a rev up from Ross at half-time, come out and put, I suppose, what we've been working on into practice and get the 4 points.
Congratulations, mate. 2-2. Wonderful. You go to GWS next week. Another big challenge, setting the season up well, Jack.
Can't wait. Cheers.
Inspirational St Kilda captain Jack Steele is